energy. Pretty magnificent. My wife mentioned to me when she came off the stage, she whispered to me, she said, you know, I was up there doing my meditation and the stage was rocking. Any Navy people out there? People love to be out to sea for a while. You know what I'm talking. You know, when you get off on the land, you're still kind of doing this. It's still kind of moving. We were on this wonderful cruise and really had a great time. You know, and speaking of that, it was last Sunday we were gone, but last Sunday also was our first Sunday of Advent, and Advent's an important framework, I think, in the world, and I think it's an important framework for us to get involved in, and always has been for me. It's really created by the church, but it's a framework that really allows the work to be done so that on Christmas we can experience the birth of the light within us. And so it's like, you know, sometimes we expect something to automatically happen and we've done nothing different. So each year we have an opportunity to be a part of the Advent series. And last week we missed a candle, and I want to light that candle. And many of you know that the first candle that we light, we would have lit it last week we were here, is for hope. Let me get that going. Because hope brings us an awareness of something greater to come. It brings us to a place of knowing that the presence and the power of God, regardless of how we find ourselves, regardless of what's occurring, that the presence and the power of God will be there for us in the midst of the storms or the situations in our lives. And, you know, I wear this little cross up here on Sunday. For me personally, and through many people, Christians, it really represents that word hope, that there is a better day coming. And Jesus, of course, brought that demonstration to the world. Today I want to light another candle. I'll take a step over here to light this candle where we're going to be speaking about today. And this candle is a candle for peace. And the Daily Word spoke about peace. And I think once we have an awareness of the hope that lies before us, and then we move into that sense of awareness of this inner peace. And if I could ask Robert to throw the Daily Word back up on the screen. If anybody's still up there, I don't know if they're still there, but if when you get a chance, throw the Daily Word back up there, because I think it really says it all. Is that in order to stay peaceful, in order to stay in a sense of calm, in this inner sense of calm, we have to learn how to not be affected by so many things out there. How many of you have ever been affected by things out there that you have absolutely no control over, but by God, I'm going to take charge? As if, you know, your life, you move into this place of, here's the globe, I stick a steering wheel right in the middle of it, and I'm running everything. Did you ever get like that? And so we lose our peace because we lose the sense of the peace inside of us. And so how do we manage our life? And of course, I noticed aboard ship when we went on the lifeboat drill, the first thing you do on the first day is you muster at your lifeboat stations, if you've been on a cruise. This particular one, they didn't require us to wear life jackets, but we all gathered, and it was quite fun. And what I noticed is the lifeboats themselves of taking on a different look. And if you've seen the movie Captain Phillips, one of the best movies I've ever seen with Tom Hanks, when he was in that lifeboat, they're all enclosed now. You know, in the old days, they were covered with canvas. They ripped off the canvas. They jammed everybody in there you got down there. In the old days, you had to row your way through it. Now they're motorized, but the new ones are like a capsule. They're enclosed, and they have a hatch that you go into. Kind of makes sense. There's a window to see, and there's actually a motor you can drive it. But when you think about it, if the ship's going down, there's probably a good reason it went down. Probably because it was stormy water out there, lots of activity. You get in this, and it's enclosed, and no matter what's happening going on out there, you're going to be safe and sound. And so the idea comes to me from that sense of peace, is that how can we manage all the stuff that's going on out there? How many of you have experienced where you didn't get your own way? And you were upset about it, or you didn't get what you wanted, or something happened, and you know, all the things that can take place. But what's important is that we stay peaceful inside, regardless of what's occurring out there. Jesus, his disciples were in the boat, and you know the story, and the waves got rough, and the storms got up, and they were frightened, and they woke him up. And he was tired, he was taking a nap. And they got up, and he just kind of laid her out there. Just said, he said what? Peace be still. And he calmed the storms. And we can calm the storms in our own life when we keep centered within us. The other interesting thing, if you've ever been on a cruise, and a lot of times they have those excursions, and you go get your fins and get your snorkel gear, you get to go down and do some diving and look at the fish. If it's rough up there, once you go down about 20 or 40 feet down here, it's what? It's calm. Get my point? So if it's rough out here, once you go within and go deeper, and you still feel the turmoil or the situation or the pain, then we do what? We go deeper. We go another 20 feet. And then if we still feel it, we go a little bit deeper. And then finally, you come to a place of this. And you breathe and you go, it's all good. You know, the Hebrew word for peace, what it really means is that all things that come to you bring you good. When somebody blesses you, shalom, and blesses you, what it's saying to you is that everything that comes into your life, whatever the situation, whatever the turmoils, whatever it may be, that it all brings you God's good and God's blessing. So this idea of peace is hugely important for us to get an understanding that it's the peace within us that Jesus was talking about. It's the peace that we take within us and that into that inner peace regardless of what's occurring to us. And, you know, a story came to mind about peace. It was 3 nuns who had actually passed. And they go and they meet St. Peter in the pearly gates. And St. Peter asks 2 questions. He says, what did you do in life and why should I let you in? And the first nun, she says, you know, I worked in the inner city hospital. And I prided myself on helping underprivileged children get better, feel better, working with family. Didn't make a lot of money. He kind of stopped her and said, just come on in. Turned to the other nurse and said, so tell me, what did you do and why should you come in? And she said, I was a nurse in the basin of Brazil in the Amazon jungle. And I helped children, I helped everybody. We went out in small teams and made a difference in the lives of many people into many tribes. Stopped her in the middle of the conversation. He said, you come on in. Turned to the third nurse. She was hesitant to say, because he asked, what did you do? And she said, I was a nurse in a HMO hospital in Dallas. And St. Peter paused for a moment. He said, you know, you come on in. And she goes, I'm so grateful. I thought there for a minute you weren't going to let me in. He said, no, you can come in for only 3 days. So, no matter wherever you find yourself, whatever situation you find yourself, even if you're only going to heaven for 3 days, no matter if you find yourself in a different place, you know, they talk about purgatory or hell. I got a card one time from a friend of mine, and it was, the caption is this. There was a gentleman, he was wheeling a wheelbarrow of hot coals. Flames were everywhere, and he was whistling and smiling, kind of that inner smile and whistling along, and the Satan was over there in the corner, not very happy with him, you know, because he's supposed to be there to do what? To suffer. And he's watching them, and the caption says, I'm not here, and it's not hot. So the idea in that caption is that wherever you find yourself, if you go deeper, you can experience that inner peace. The peaceful presence of God is within me. I think we ought to affirm it yet one more time. Together, the peaceful presence of God is within me. It's within you. If you go to Jamaica and the Caribbean, I don't know how you pronounce it, but if you go on the Royal Caribbean, if you go to the Caribbean, they're going to be playing Caribbean music. Don't worry, everything's going to be all right. And they're all doing this. And it's catchy. Don't worry, everything's going to be all right. Together, don't worry, everything's going to be all right, man. Together, don't worry, everything's going to be all right. And there, let that be okay with whatever's going on out there. You know, because if we don't let the water in the boat, there's a good chance we're not going to sink. It's when we let all these things and resentments and anger and wish we would have, and the list goes on and on and on. And what popped into my mind this morning was, most recently for me, was my stepdad, had a heart attack on March 7th of this year. And when I found out that he was going to be okay, they put stents in, they said he was going to be okay. I chose not to go see him. What I was going to do was wait until he got home. He was going to rehab, and then he would go back to his place, and I was going to step aside for a while and be with him to make sure he was doing okay until he got his life back. And it was that Friday, which is 2 days later, that he had another heart attack in the hospital and passed away in the hospital. And so what happened for me was, you can imagine where I let some water in, because it's called what? Guilt. Have you ever experienced guilt before? And so I let the guilt sink me for a while, and it was real hard to recover from that because I kept swimming in that. And then once I bring back that awareness, and so the process is that hope for a better day. And today we talk about that sense of inner peace, the peace that comes to us. Don't let worry, frustration, anger, resentments, unforgiveness, don't let them come in. Don't take on that water. Stay at rest, because peace is the position of peace is very powerful. If you can hold it. Jesus stood in peace when he was at his trial. He stood in a place of peace when people reviled him and said all evil things against him and also against us if they don't go along with our thinking. But if we stand in peace and we don't let the water in, so we need to be still and know that I am God. And how God can get to us is when we're peaceful and still. And if you're not feeling the presence of God, again I say what? Go deeper. Don't worry. Everything's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. Lighten up. See, it's easy there. It's so easy there. You've got the beaches, and you got the view, and you got the ocean, and little or no clothing. You know, it's like, it's just easy there. You kind of set everything aside. So it's a place you can be in peace, and then you come back, and then you get to be in peace again. If you don't let everything in to sink you, and things happen to us. So we need to go deeper where the calm waters are. This too shall pass, and we rise to the occasion. In 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter, it says, be calm, be cool, steady, unflinching, endure hardship. I can't get out of my Jamaican accent. I didn't even go to Jamaica, and I want to be in it. Where did we go? We didn't go to Jamaica, did we? I didn't think so. Next time. Be calm, be cool, steady, unflinching, endure hardship. Unflinching. When it comes to you, you're in it. You observe it. And so the concept that comes to me is this. Make it a notice, man. Be cool. Be cool. Make it a notice. Stay in peace. I'm just going to let it happen. Be cool. Be in a place of peace and notice if it's yours or theirs. Don't take it on, man. Stay calm. Stay easy. Make it a preference of how you'd like things to be. Make it a preference on how you'd like things to be. Let go of the need to control, because God's in charge. And as you lean back, thank you. Amen? Amen. Amen. Lean back. Let God demonstrate to you. Go deeper into the presence of God. Stay calm. Never, never, never give up the awareness that there's something greater than yourself that you can lean on and allow that peace to come into your life. Worry, set it aside. Go deeper. I will give you rest, it says in Exodus 33. I will give you rest. Everything will be fine. And that's what Jamaicans are saying. It comes from Exodus, from the Bible. Everything going to be all right. It comes from the Bible. Everything will be. Hold your peace. Position for peace. Hold your peace in the midst of any storm. The 34th Psalm says, depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. Not only seek it, but even go farther and pursue it. Make an activity of pursuing peace into your life, bringing it into the truth of who you are as a radiant child of God. We have to kind of step into that peace. First, our step is to the inner peace. Then our steps are to the world peace. And so when we think of the 5 steps to the peace out there, peace could possibly stand for plant faith communities. That's what I would hope this church is a faith community. We plant a faith community who wants to establish peace in their lives. E, we equip and empower leaders within that community to encourage and to promote peace into our lives and to those that are coming to us. And the A stands for assist the poor and support the people who don't have the luxuries that we have here at our church. C is care for the people, care for the sick. E is educate the next generation. Here lies a challenge for us, is that we've got to be, our church has to be open to the next generation. We have to allow an inviting environment that also not only worships the way that we like to worship, but also invites a process of worship for the younger next generation. Peace will come when we believe and let go of any belief and lack and limitation, and we believe that the God of our understanding is our source of supply. The steps for the inner peace that we talk about, the inner peace is this: slow down and lighten up. Laugh more. Slow down, loosen up, and laugh more. Number 2, be in the present. Stand in the present. Everything's happened out there. Things are going to happen in the future. If you want a better world in the future, you need to create a better thought today. Stand in the presence of what you'd like things to be like in the future. And then number 3, very, very important, most important thing is nap time. We had it aboard ship. What? Nap time. Say it with me. Nap time. You don't have to constantly be in motion. There's a time to rest and to Sabbath and to reflect upon our life. Number 4 is be thankful, be grateful. Number 5 is hit the reset button with breathing exercises. Don't let the breath leave you. Breathe in the Spirit of God. Breathe in the presence of God. And let that breath of life fill you. I hope you feel more peaceful right in this moment. Are you you look like you're smiling a little bit more than when you came in. I know I am. Because everything's going to be all right. When I take my last breath, I won't wish that I would have done this different or that different. I won't wish that I had spent this or spent that or bought that. What I want to have in my life when I take my last breath is to know beyond any shadow of a doubt that the presence of God is with me, regardless of where I'm about to go. And that comes from a sense of peace. It comes from a sense of understanding. So we need to hit the reset button. John 14:27 says this: peace I live with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. It's not that kind of peace. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. So as you hold that position of peace, a smile on your face, song in your heart, twinkle in your eye, nothing shall disturb you. The storms are all around you, but you are with God, safe and secure. Please work on not letting so much water into your boat so the presence of God can keep you afloat. God bless you. Thank you for being here today.